Hello there, boys and girls, cats and dogs, any other options you care to choose. This is David Browning, and this is another THWIP Thursday post. I always do these because I can never get around to doing a WIP Wednesday post. So I talk about finished objects, I talk about works in progress, talk about other things. Basically just a status report, really. Just sharing with you what's going on. First, I want to bring your attention to my subscribe sign. Isn't it lovely? That's a hint. I got that from the lovely and talented Brenda, the newbie crocheter. Her husband does woodworking as a sideline, and many of us have obtained signs like this from Brenda at very reasonable cost. She also makes also makes other kinds of signs, including personalized signs for individual channels, and that I'm going to look into. What else? In the way of happy mail. Well, I got this last week, but I didn't show it to you. I got some of these postcards from Vistaprint, and you've seen this image before. And on the back, it just has my name and my social media links. So whenever I send a person a package, I can just write a personal note here. Or if I want to send a real postcard, I can use it for that as well. I'm rather pleased with this. I got 500 of the things, but 500 was like $10 more than 250. You know how that all goes. Oh, more happy mail. Dear Lori Armstrong had some yarn that I mentioned going to several different stores. It's this Premier Just yarn from the Dollar Tree in a particular color, and at that time I was not able to find any more, and she had some, so she very kindly sent me 4 of these skeins in this color garnet. That was very lovely of her. I'm sure that the postage cost more than the 4 skeins of yarn, knowing how things are in this country. The most exciting thing, though, I just got this today. I got a new ring light to use that also has a holder for my cell phone, and the cell phone is where I record videos. When I do lives, I use the whatever is built into my computer, but it has a holder for the cell phone. And I haven't set it up yet, I just ordered it, but here is a picture of what it's going to look like. So, it doesn't matter what kind of lighting I have. Whether I'm, right now, it's a pretty bright day outside and I'm sitting right beside a bay window. So, so the lighting is pretty good right now. Although you can tell that the window's on this side and not on that side just by looking at shadows. So I'm really excited about that. It didn't cost very much at all. So finished objects, I have a few. Most of them I post pictures on Instagram. There are, my Instagram is called, of course, Bearded Yarn Dudes, all one word. I think it's all one word. Anyway, I have what I call a wonky square sweater vest. I think I will insert a photo of that right here. I also have another clergy stole. I cannot stop making clergy stoles. So, and this is it. It's composed of 3 different kinds of granny squares. See, this is a solid granny square, and this is a traditional granny square, and this is a hybrid of the 2. How cool is that? And actually, as a work in progress, I'm doing a second one of those because I want to send these out as gifts. Most of you know I studied music in school, and I went to a small liberal arts college. In North Carolina, you cannot swing a cat without hitting a small church-related liberal arts college. So I went to a small liberal arts college where Most of the music students were studying church music, and many of them went into the ministry. And then other friends I've made along the way as well. So I want to send out a few of these in red in time for Pentecost. I knew when I started making these that I would never be able to get any out in time for Easter, which is just this Sunday. So that's one of my finished objects. Here is another. I just whipped this one up yesterday. It's a hat. Look, it uses the same Hugs and Kisses stitch that I use in my Hugs and Kisses scarf. So I call this a Hugs and Kisses hat. And, you know, it just starts off with a plain old disc, if you will. In fact, I got started doing this. I was recording a tutorial on crocheting in the round, and then I thought, why not just keep going and come up with a hat design? And I did. So this is, I've already posted this pattern on my blog, which is called Bearded Yarn Dudes. Big surprise there. The link to that blog is in the description. I always make all of my hat patterns free. Not all of my patterns are free, but hat patterns are free because I want to encourage people to make hats for donations, particularly for things like Hat Not Hate. Gosh, my hair looks awful, doesn't it? Particularly things like Hat Not Hate. Some people carry extra hats and scarves around in their cars in the winter just to give away to people who look like they need them. Works in progress. As I mentioned, I'm doing another one of these stoles, so I'm making a bunch of granny squares. But they're small ones. They're like 4.5 inches. But I need 22 of them. Anyway, I've also talked about this polo shirt that I'm working on, where I bought this pattern here, and I've shown this picture before as well. Here is the pattern. This pattern creator, look for my Shout Out Saturday post on Saturday. I give a link to his Etsy store, and he has some really wonderful patterns there. This is the second one of his that I've bought. So, as you can see, there is, on both sides, there's a dominant color panel from basically chest down, and then the shoulders and arms are a second color. And I've reversed it. I'm doing a variegated blue for chest down, and then I've got like a creamy white color to use on the top. And I'm just plugging away at it. I don't really have a time in mind when I absolutely have to have it done, but I'm plugging away as I'm also doing other things. And that is, oh, I started to say, I had finished the front panel, because the front and the back panel in the chest down color are identical. So I finished the back panel, and I've got this much done in the front panel, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. So I just keep plugging away, and then once I've finished those, I will do the shoulders and sleeves and the collar. It might be a challenge. It probably will be a challenge, but I think I'm up to it. And right now, that's all I've got going in the way of works in progress. You know, I have some unfinished objects that I'll get back to at some point. I used to talk a lot about the sweater that would not die. I've come to the conclusion that just like with writers, they say to put everything they've got into their first novel, get it all done, and then put it away and start working on real work. And then, you know, sometimes after accomplishing other things, writers sometimes go back to that first novel and find out how they can improve it based on their experience since then. And I think that's what's going on with my sweater pattern. I don't think it's the only sweater pattern I'll ever do, certainly. but I'm going to revisit it in another 6 months or a year, I suppose. I should do it, should look at it in the fall, when sweater season is upon us. I also have the blanket that I have called the Big Green Monster that I started, sort of lost interest in. I still haven't decided what to do with that, so that's sitting in a box. I have a poncho that I worked on that I sort of designed and wasn't happy with, so I'm going to rework that. I have, what else? I don't have that much going on, but at the same time, I have patterns on Ravelry, I have patterns on Etsy, I have the new blog, which I created to be crochet specific. The one that I used to link was really created to be general topics, and then sort of evolved into crochet specific. So it's going back to being general topics. And then I also have the blog that I've had for 10, 12 years, probably longer, which is all about opera. All of those are linked in the description. I also have a Patreon page because it might be forever before I ever get monetized by YouTube. So just in case anyone wants to show me some support, I'm not asking you for money, but I'm not going to turn it down either. So there's only one membership level on my Patreon page, and it's the lowest dollar amount that Patreon recommends, and it entitles members to a weekly members only live stream and previews and discounts of patterns before they're published. What else do we have? Let's see. I don't really have anything else to talk about. This is a brief one, but I've been doing an awful lot. I've been recording a lot. Oh yes, I'm starting to do tutorials. I'm starting with 60-second shorts. I posted one on Monday that was about foundation single crochet. There's another one that goes live tomorrow that is about extended half double crochet. And then there's one on next Monday that is extended single crochet. Oh, I also want to mention, in addition to my regular schedule, that on Sunday, Easter Sunday, beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing a marathon live. I hope to make it until midnight, possibly later. So I hope you will join me for that. And I don't expect anyone to stay the whole time. I might not stay the whole time, but yes, I would love for you to come and go as you please. And I hope that we'll have a lot of fun working up a few things to talk about in case we get bored. But oddly enough, I never seem to have an awful lot of trouble running my mouth. You wouldn't know that I'm rather shy in person. Oh, and as I mentioned, my regular schedule, this is a THWIP Thursday, which usually goes live every Thursday. Sometimes it does become a THWIP Friday. And then I have started doing a short on Friday. I have Saturday shoutouts. I have Sunday readings, which is all about poetry. I have started doing shorts on Mondays. I have Topic Tuesday, which is a live stream at 2 o'clock Eastern. And then immediately afterwards, we go to Brenda the Newbie Crocheter at 3. And then on Wednesdays, we have Wednesdays Free for All, which is at 6 p.m. Eastern, immediately after Granny D. And she very kindly sends people over to me on Wednesdays. So, I guess I have been a busy boy, haven't I? Anyway, that's all we have today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, all the standard YouTube stuff. And thank you for coming, and keep coming back.